So in this video, we are going to learn how to create user in LearnWorlds on Google Form submission. Now suppose guys, you have created an online form using Google Form or any other online form building application. And you want that whenever a user enters the details and submits the form, you want to add that same user with the same details and add that person as a user in LearnWorlds. So the manual process of doing this is very much repetitive and time consuming. So in this video, we are going to see how you can automate it. So in this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new response in Google Forms, automatically with the same responses, same details, we are going to create or add the person as a user in LearnWorlds. Now guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is the form which I have created using Google Form. So it is a registration form and I have added this form into my website and shared with other users on multiple platforms. Now we want that whenever a user enters their detail in this form and submits it, we want to add that same user into our Learners World account. Now here guys, to do this, we have to connect Google Forms and LearnWorlds. Now to do this, we are going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an automation and integration platform. So here you can see that we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. And to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. After reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name it as Google Forms to LearnWorlds. After naming it, just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. Now the idea here is, first, we are going to connect our Google Form with Pabbly Connect in trigger window so that every time we are going to receive a new form submission, a new response in Google Form, automatically that form submission data will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, we are going to send those same details to LearnWorlds. Let's see how it is done. Here in trigger window, in Choose Apps, search for Google Forms. Just select it. And then in trigger event from the drop down, select the trigger event as new response received. After selecting our trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And we are going to use this webhook URL to connect and get the responses from Google Forms inside Pabbly Connect. And how it is done? You just have to follow the help text given below over here. Just copy this webhook URL from here and go to the form which you have created using Google Forms. So here you can see that we have opened this form in edit mode and right now we are in this questions tab. On the right side of it, here you can see a tab of responses. Just go to responses and here you can see an option of link to sheets. Just click on it, select create a new spreadsheet and click on create. Now when we click on create, you will see in a new tab, a Google spreadsheet opens up. This is the exact same spreadsheet guys in which all the responses of this Google Forms are stored. And from this spreadsheet, we are going to send the form submission data, the form responses to Pabbly Connect. So we are going to add this webhook URL given by Pabbly Connect into this Google Sheet. Now to add it, just go to Extensions, Add-ons and click on Get Add-ons. After clicking on Get Add-ons, here you can see that we have reached to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks, Pabbly, Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And here you can see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheet. You just have to install this same add-on into your own Google Sheets account. And after installing it, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. Now here guys, after refreshing it, once again go to Extensions and this time you can see Pabbly Connect Webhooks. This add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it and click on Initial Setup. After clicking on Initial Setup, this box appears in front of us. And in this box, it is basically asking us three different things. First one is the selected sheet. And here in selected sheet, it is most likely possible that in your Google spreadsheet, you may have created multiple sheets. So out of all of them, from which sheet new data you want to send to Pabbly Connect. So here in this Google spreadsheet, we have only one sheet named as Form Response 1. and we want to send the form submission data, form response, which are added over here to Pabbly Connect. So we are going to select that particular sheet over here. Then it is asking us for the webhook URL. Now here in webhook URL section, we have to paste the exact same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and then just paste it over here. And then it is asking us the trigger column. Now here you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. So here in background, you can see that column E is going to be my trigger column for this Google Sheet because column E is the last column in which any of my data is going to enter or any of my data exist. After column E, in any of the column, none of my data does not exist. So here in trigger column, I'm going to select column E. After entering it, just click on this submit button. And here you can see that the setup has been configured successfully. Just close this window. Once again, we have to go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks and click on send on event. And by selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever data in a new row is added till our trigger column, that is column E, automatically send that data to Pabbly Connect. So every time now we are going to receive a new form response, the form submission data is added in this Google Sheet. And whenever the data in a new row is added till our trigger column, automatically that data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. So here in Pabbly Connect, you can see that it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some response, some data from Google Forms or Google Sheet. So here what we are going to do, the form which we have created using Google Forms, we are just going to open this form in preview mode and we are going to make a test form submission. Let's enter a first name, for example, demo. Last name is customer. This is the name. This is the email address. And this is the phone number. And then just click on submit. So as we click on submit, just now we have received a new form submission in the form which we have created using Google Form. And the same form submission data can be seen over here in our Google Sheet. As I told you, the Google Form responses are stored into a Google Sheet. And because we have connected this Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect using a webhook URL, here you can see that in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we have received the same response. So here in trigger window, you can see all of these responses. And in this response, you will see the details of the same user. Here you can see the same first name, same last name, same phone number, and the same email address which we have just now entered while submitting the form. This means the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully connected and received Google Form responses inside Pabbly Connect. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And in step 2, using these details of Google Forms, using these Google Form responses, we want to add the same person as a user in LearnWorlds. Now to do this, just scroll down, click on this Actions tab, and here in Choose App, search for LearnWorld. Select LearnWorlds. And then in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Create User. Click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our LearnWorlds account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API URL, client ID, we have to once again confirm the client ID and the client secret of our LearnWorlds account. Now here you must be thinking how you can get all of these details of your LearnWorlds account and enter it over here. So what you have to do, you just have to log into your LearnWorlds account and go to the dashboard. After reaching to the dashboard, on the left side, here you can see the settings option. Just click on it and under settings, here you can see developers. Click on developers. And after that, just go to API. As you click on this API option, here you can see all the details of your LearnWorlds account. One by one, copy these details from here. Let's start with client ID. Copy the client ID from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And we have to paste the same over here once again. Then go back to LearnWorlds, copy the client secret, and then in Pabbly Connect, paste it over here. And at last, copy the API URL of your LearnWorlds account and then paste it over here too. And after entering all of these details, just click on Save. Now when we click on Save, we will see our LearnWorlds account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. And after making this connection, here you can see that here we can see some fields. And in all of these fields, we have to enter the details of the user which we want to create, which we want to add in our LearnWorlds account. So the first thing it is asking us is the email. Now from Google Form responses, we have received the email address of the user which they have entered while submitting the form. So from the same response of Google Form, we have received the email address, we are going to map this response of email over here in this field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down below, here you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Form of a new response. And out of all of these responses, select the response of email and it will be mapped over here. After entering or mapping the email address, the next thing it asks us is the username, that what will be the username of this person. So I want the username to be the combination of first name and the last name. So first we are going to map the first name and then last name over here. So the process of mapping basically stays the same. Just click on this field and from the drop down from Google Form responses, select the response of first name and it will be mapped. Then add a space and from the drop down, select the response of last name as well. After mapping the username, here you also have an option to generate the password for the users. But right now, I just don't want to generate the password myself. I want the users to whom I'm adding or creating in my LearnWorlds account. I want users to generate their own password. So I'm ignoring this field for password and we are keeping it blank. Then it is asking us subscribe for marketing email. That are these users are subscribed for marketing email or not. So we haven't actually added any kind of question like this in the Google form from which we can get this response. So we are just keeping it false. But if you want, you can add the question for the same into your own Google form which you have created and get that response. And by turning this mapping button on and mapping the response over here, you can map it too. Then it is asking us, should sign up validation rule be applied? So I don't want to apply the sign up validation rule. So that is why I'm selecting false for here as well. Then it is asking us that the user which we are creating is the user is the admin. So the user is not the admin. So we are selecting false over here once again. After this, it is asking us for the tag that if there is any tag you want to give to this user, you can give it. For example, there is a common tag which I want to give to all of the users which I'm creating in LearnWorlds using Google Form. And the tag name is Google Form itself. So I'm selecting or entering this tag Google Forms over here. Then it is asking us FC term, basically post click term, last click term, medium, and all of these details. So these details are not mandatory, not required. So if you want, you can ignore these fields for now. And then after this, you also see some other details like the Facebook URL of the user, URL of the Facebook profile, the bio, their URL, and other platforms too. So if you get these details from Google Forms from the user, you can map it over here one by one. But if not, if you don't get the details or don't want to use it, you can ignore these fields for now. And then just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the details or the form responses which we have received from Google Forms, using those same details, we have basically added that person as a new user in LearnWorlds. Now here guys, let's check it. Let's go to a LearnWorlds account and go to the users section over here. All users. And yes guys, here you can see that the same user whose details we have entered while submitting the form in Google Forms, the same user, demo customer, has been added as a new user in LearnWorlds. So here you can see the same name, the same email address, and after that here you can see the same tag which we have entered while creating the automation workflow inside Pabbly Connect, that is Google Forms. So here you can see that the automation workflow which we have created inside Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine. And whenever we are going to receive a new response in the Google Form which we have created, automatically using those responses, we can add a new user. We can create a new user in LearnWorlds. Now guys, after setting up this automation workflow, let's test this automation once. Once again, we will go back to our Google Form, we will refresh it, and this time we are going to enter the details of a new user over here. For example, test customer. This is the name of the person. Let's enter the email address as well. And then once again, a phone number. And then just click on submit. So just now we have received another form submission in Google Form. And we will see as we receive this form submission, using this automation, automatically the same user will be created in LearnWorlds. So we'll go to LearnWorlds and let's refresh this all users page once. And yes guys, here you can see that test customer, the same user whose details we have just now added in our Google form, is now created as a new user in LearnWorlds. You can see the same name, same email address, and the same constant tag which we have created while setting up this automation workflow which we have added over here inside Pabbly Connect. So this means guys, we have tested this automation workflow in real time and it is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.